welcome to the definitive Shadow of the Colossus tiers list. Tiers list. Starring all 16 of the Colossi. All right? Let's get this going. So, as you may or may not know, okay, well, actually, no, we're going to do this a little different. This isn't going to be quite like the Dark Souls one. I don't know, this is a different kind of game. I definitely love the game. Absolutely love the game. I would even say this is, man, it's close to a 10. It is one of those games, it's like all around a pretty good, perfect game. You know, you got to be into this kind of thing, but I just loved the way that the bosses were each like a puzzle. It was fun, dude. It was so fun getting to each thing and having that switch from like, I have no idea what to do, to like, moment. That's what made the game so good. That was the best things about the game. The only bad things about the game that I could even come up with, in my opinion, you know, and I like this kind of game. I love the esoteric, weird vagueness of it all. It's just a vibe, okay? I loved it. The only things which, you know, you've probably heard before is there was some weird camera stuff and maybe a little clunky on the controls, okay? Just a little bit. But if you know that this game was on the PS2 and that this version I played, the PS5 remake, PS4 remake, but I played it on PS5, just kind of updated a lot of stuff other than the controls. I don't know, it's hard to knock it because it feels like a PS2 game. It's not weird, I guess. But the camera had a mind of its own a little bit. It did. It's, yeah, 20 years old. Think about that. 20 years old. But aside from that, I don't really have any complaints. The game was so short and sweet, it's hard to complain. Like, wham, bam, we're done. We're in and out. It was a blast. Very fulfilling game. All right, now let's just get this going. Now, here's our Colossi. As we learned from chat here, these aren't the official names, right? Am I right? These were kind of given their names by the fans, but then they've kind of now become more or less official, unofficial names, I guess. So, I don't know. I think the only people that wouldn't like this game is if you maybe, you know, are younger and haven't played PS2 games or something, and then you're kind of struggling with the controls. But honestly, midway through and on, I started getting better at the controls too. You know, and I love hanging on to the birds, and I love getting pulled by the fish. Now let's get this going. Let's just do them in order. Why don't we do them in order? Let's see. Number 1, Malus. Now I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciations, but let's just go for it, okay? Malus. Now this is the first one. So how does this, let's see how it stands up being the first one. I'm trying to remember. This is when you first get in the game, you first get to the temple, you put the girl down, you have no idea what's going on, right? Yeah, Northwest is right there. I see him. And you head right straight out and you find this guy. For the intro Colossi, I think it worked pretty good. Okay? In fact, I gotta go like this, remember? Look, so we can get a good look at this guy. Hold up. For the intro Colossi, it worked pretty good. Because it wasn't too much of a puzzle. And it was just kind of like an introduction to like, yo, they're going to be huge. You're going to be small. You're going to need to climb them and stuff. That's like what this guy taught you. You got to just, am I wrong? You could have just jumped right onto his leg. This one was the easy one where you could just jump right on, climb up him. And it's just kind of your introduction to the climbing mechanics and not getting flung off and then finding the mark and stabbing it. Okay? So, thinking about it being the intro one, I think it's a great introduction. It's one of the more simple ones. I will say it was, I mean, a little bit less memorable for me, but it's the intro one. But if we take other similar intro bosses, like from Souls, they're more memorable. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like some of those are more memorable than this one. I'm going to put this one, Malus. I don't know. Dude, I'm between a B and a C. Part of me wants to go B because it's like there's nothing that great about it, but it's the first one. So they're not going to hit you with some kind of creative puzzle stuff right out the gate. But at the same time, I feel like we might need to leave some... No, I don't think this is the one we shot his foot. I don't think so. I think you just jump on and climb right away. But I gotta go C. I'm gonna go C. We're gonna go middle of the road. Middle of the road. Yeah, Serena, he's talking right now. I see it. Yeah. So I think it's cool. It's a good start, right? And it definitely hooks you though, because if you haven't played a game like this, which there's not really other games like this, you're like, holy shit, that was crazy. Okay? So we're gonna go C. It's a good start. C's not bad. All right. Who's next? Quadratus? Now, which one is this? Remind me. This is the one. Okay. Quadratus is the one, the second one, where you gotta shoot the foot. This is the one you gotta shoot the foot. So this one kind of tripped me up for a bit. Because he was walking around and there's nowhere to climb up on it. This was the first one that kind of... In fact, wow, even thinking back, the game really does take baby steps in a cool way. Because the first Colossi, you just jump on it, you climb it, you stab it. Right? This one is the first one where you're like, okay, I got to use my head a little bit. Because you can't just jump on it. The fur is a little bit too high to grab, and you can't jump on it. But then you notice as it's stomping around, right, that it lifts up the hoof, and you can see underneath the hoof, you can shoot it with the arrow. And as I'm going, correct me if I say any of these wrong, if I get it confused. But that's what this was. So then you shoot it in the foot, and then it goes down, and then you can jump on it, and then you can kill it. So it's like they give you a little bit of a puzzle element, elaborating a little bit more than the first one. Still not one of the best. Definitely not one of the best. All right? I feel like Quadratus... I don't know. Again, I'm between a B or a C. I think I'm going to go B because there's a little bit more thought into conquering it than Valus or Valus. I could see you going to C with it compared to some of these later ones. But I'm going to go B. I'm going to go B. Now, what do we got next? 3 is Gaius. This one's a little better. This one was cooler than Quadratus and Valus. So either Quadratus has to come down or Gaius has to go up. Now, again, this is the first time that you learn, okay, I can make them swing at me or hit something in the environment. This is that one, and you know what? His arena was cooler too. His arena's cooler because you gotta swim through the water and then climb up the ruins of the thing. And then he's up there with that big old arm sword thing. And you have to make him hit the thing on the ground. This was another one that I didn't exactly know what to do at first until he started hitting the ground and I ran around and saw that platform. All right? So then you gotta make him hit the thing and the thing on his arm busts off like the armor. And then you can climb it. So that was another cool... This was like the first using your environment Colossi. This one's cooler. Gaius was cooler, bro. Gaius was cooler. So this one goes A. I remember this one. It's got to be one of the most iconic looking ones even. I just remember it. I remember how cool the aha moment was when he hit the thing and his armor broke. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. All right? What's 4? What the hell is this one? I don't know. I remember this one. Oh, this one was cool too. They're all pretty cool, man. They are. Yo, how come somebody was saying there was a small one? Weren't people yesterday being like, ooh, wait till you see the small one? But there wasn't really a small one, was there? Okay, so this one was like a horse, kind of. And it was that area where there was like the 4 underground bunkers. And some of these, I don't even know if I did them the right way. I'm just going to say how I did it, I guess. But there was, this was the one where you had to go in the bunker and then it would kind of like duck down like this. and kind of try to look for you in the bunker. And then I came running from the other way and jumped off the horse. Gah! And I grabbed these little danglies here. And I climbed up them to his head. And then we stabbed him to death. Oh, the tiger and the boar. Okay. Because I gotta be honest, when you guys started saying, wait for the small one, I was expecting like a rabbit. Hear me out though. I think that could have been a cool plot twist. Where you get to one area and there's like a small one. But you gotta find some way to do it. Think about like the folding screen monkeys. You gotta chase it around until it goes into this thing or something. Like I'm talking small, like a dog. Wouldn't that be dope? But this one was cool. Kind of mid. Kind of mid. This one was over pretty quick. I figured it out pretty quick. I think it was more obvious than the other ones, and it was easy to jump and grab the thing. I'm gonna go for where'd he go? Phaedra. Phaedra's going C. Phaedra's kind of C. Papa Cap. We've got a similar thought. We're gonna get there. 5. Avion. Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Avion comes out slapping, clapping cheeks, right? Tell me I'm wrong. This one was one of my favorites. This is one of the coolest earlier ones. There's that one, you make your way through the little temple, you come out into like, there's a huge body of water, and this thing is just perched up on the cliff over there, or on that platform over there, like a Dark Souls boss. It straight up looked like a Dark Souls, like, gargoyle thing. And then you gotta get down there on this platform, and you gotta shoot it with an arrow, and then it swoops down, and you jump and grab the wings as it comes by. Epic. Absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. This is better than, I think, any of the ones that came before. This is one of the first moments where I was like, holy shit. And the waves, oh, it is crazy. And then it's flying around, and you gotta stab the wings. Love this one. Love this one. So Avion goes, ooh, man. Avion goes, ooh. Avion's A or C. Or, I mean, sorry, A or an S. I'm going to put Avion above Gaius. Yeah, that looks right. We'll see if he goes to S. He's going to go A for now. Okay. The snake one in the water scares you so bad. Yeah, the eel. Yeah. That's one of my favorite ones. We're going to get to that one, bro. Oh, yeah. Okay. 6. What do we got for 6? Barba? Which one's Barba again? Barbara? I don't remember one named Barbara. Oh, yeah. I didn't like this one. I didn't like this one very much. This is the one where you're in that enclosed area and he's stomping around and he's got the beard. He's got the big beard. And what you got to do is you got to walk under the platform, and then he ducks down to look. He looks for you, and you jump and grab his beard. Okay? This is like a win-lose. Because it's cool that you grab his beard. I think that's cool. But it's not cool that it's kind of the same thing as Phaedra. You got to go under a thing and make the Colossus duck down. So it's kind of a similar solution. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't think this one's one of the best ones. I don't think it's one of the best. I think Barbara's going to go... I think Barbara's going to go C. I think Barbara's going to go C. Which one was Quadratus again? The foot one? I don't know if that should be B. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Barbara's going to go C. It took me a while to figure it out. You're right, but I think part of the reason it took me a while is because we just did the other one where you had to make it duck. So I didn't think it was going to be the same solution again. And Torinto, I will say, if we were ranking these like against other games and stuff, yeah, a lot of these are just top tier. But we're talking about them ranked among themselves, you know, so there's got to be some best and worst, okay? I got to put him C. He wasn't one of the most memorable, even though I loved grabbing that beard. I did, okay? 7. Hydrus. Now this got me going. This one got me going. Okay? This is the eel one, underwater. And there was everything that I liked about this one. Literally everything. I like how when we got there, you come out on top looking down on all that water. You don't know he's under the water yet. But the way that they put that platform there makes you want to just jump in the water. Remember? Even when we got there, I was like, yo, like the video if you want me to jump in the water, because I'm going to dive in. Like, it just makes you want to do it. So then you jump in, and then the cutscene happens, and you see this asshole swimming around. Bro. Oh, man. So you had to swim around on the water to make this thing come up to mess with you. And then you had to jump on the back and grab the fur. But then the fact that it's coming in and out of the water and it's pulling you down underwater and out of water, and you're seeing the water like crest over the top of it. It was just so... There's so much more going on in this one. Okay? I'm thinking it's S tier. And it also bothered me the most because of the whole phobia crap. I hate big stuff in the water, bro. This one was great. I loved everything about this one. It was so cool. Yeah, listen, Hydrus is going to be the first S. Hydrus is going to be the first S of the day. It's true. It was a good one. It was a great one. Okay? 8. Which one's this? How am I going to say that word? Kuromori? Which one was this? Oh, loved it. Loved this one. Loved this one. This was another one. This was probably the turning point. I think we did this on day 1, right? It might have been the last one we did on day 1. It was the turning point where I was like, because it was after the fish. So we went from fish to this, and I'm like, this is a god tier game. I loved it. This is the little gecko guy. He's not little. But you had to get him to climb up the wall. And again, this is how I did it. There's probably multiple solutions to some of these. But you had to get him to climb up the wall and then run down, come out, and shoot his legs to then make him fall off the wall, belly up, and then you got to go stab him in the belly. I really liked this one. This one I had to think about a little bit. It was an aha moment. I also loved the way it looked. It's like a Komodo dragon looking thing with these scales. I just liked this one. Again, I feel like you could put this one S. Let me look at what we got. I'm not going to go S. I'm going to go A. It's the highest A. Kuromori is the highest A. This is your least favorite? Not me. I liked him more than these other ones. Kuromori is the highest A. I can almost go S, but the only reason I didn't is because I think we've got some better ones coming up. I really do. And yeah, I just want to clarify, this really should be the tiers list because, man, you want to cry after every single one you kill. You finally do it. It does that satisfying sound effect. But then the sad music happens and you're like, oh my god, what have I done? It's crazy. Oh, you were trying to spam arrows to kill it. Yeah, I bet that didn't work. Yeah, that's why I like it. You got to figure it out. So he's high A. Now we got, what do we got? 9? No. Yeah, 9. Oh, okay. I remember this guy. I believe. Basaran. Really like this one as well. This is another environmental one. Actually, a lot of them are environmental in a lot of ways, but this is that like mud crab looking one, and it kind of like walks out, and it's in the area where the geysers are like shooting up out of the ground. And I actually like this one because this is another one where my aha moment was like very strong. Where I saw the geysers coming out, but I didn't put much thought into it. I'm like, oh, cool, different area. That's cool. And then this guy walks out, and he's too tall to grab No. You can grab the belly fur, but you can't get up on top of him. You can't do anything. So you had to walk him over. You had to like kind of bait him into standing above a geyser, and the geyser would kind of push him up a little bit. And then you had to hit his feet or like lower legs, and then he finally would tip over. And then again, you climb up him on the underbelly and stab him. This was a cool one. The geysers elevated it. The whole area and environment elevated it for sure. I'm not sure where it's going to go, though. Let me think. I don't think it's quite... It's up there with... If I put Kuromori as A... that's hard, man. I guess Basaran is going to go... I mean, he's above the... he could be low A. I'm feeling low A. Yeah, shout out to Argro, however you say the horse. The best horse. He's a good boy. I'm gonna go low A. Some of these, man, you could move all these around and it would still make sense. I'm gonna go low A. It's a good one. I liked it. It's memorable. It's memorable because the geyser. It really is. 10. Oh, God. Oh, it's not the one I thought. Oh, okay. That one was epic, dude. Look at, that's a perfect screenshot. This is the one that's like the tremor, dude. The grapoid. The sandworm, bro. The, what's it called in Breath of the Wild again? Moldoga. That's what this was. This one took me a minute, too. I also like that Dorman gives you the little hints. Like, it's gaze, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh, the eyes. Okay, yeah. But this one took me a minute. This is the one that's in the big sand pit room. And there's a bunch of rock pillars. And he's chasing you under the sand, kind of like a shark. But I thought the idea was, like, make him chase you and then move out of the way and he crashes into a pillar. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that. You had to shoot him in the eye. Which honestly, I don't know. I don't think this one that was that great. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's one of the best ones. I don't think so. Like, I kind of like that it wasn't obvious, like, just make him bump the wall like every game does. But at the same time, just shooting it in the eye, I feel like I wanted one more step. Like, shoot it in the eye, and then maybe... I don't know. It just wasn't the best. And I also didn't like that this one had that cutscene, where when you shoot it in the eye, it would play a cutscene where it, like, came to a stop and crashed. Why didn't it just happen in game time, like the rest of them did? I don't know. I don't think this is one of my favorites, honestly. It was freaky at the time. It was unsettling. But I think it's going to go... It's above Beard Guy. It's above Barba. It's above Phaedra. It's above Valus. I'm going to go... It's in B. It's in B. Just for how unnerving it was, I guess. I'll put it above Quadratus. We'll go high B. We'll go high B. Bro, I'm going to talk about beating each one. Yeah, the sand swimming was cool, but then we do see that the only reason I dropped it down a bit is we do see some more sand swimming in a minute here, and I think it's probably the best one in the game. Real experience. It's okay, bro. This is just my take. And a lot of this, you know, I normally say this at the beginning. Yeah, this is different than Souls, where, like, I'm not incorporating difficulty, really. I'm more just basing this on, like, how memorable they are, how fun they were to solve, you know? That's what I'm basing this off of. And I feel like if I thought about this game a year from now, I don't think Dirge, however you say this one, I don't think it's going to be one of the ones I remember right away. I just don't. I would see a picture and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that face. How could I forget that face? You know what I mean? So I'm going to go high B. I'm going to go high B on him. That's just my take, okay? You guys could have a different list, and I would literally understand all of them. I would. Okay? Now we're going to go 11. Celosia. Don't like it. Don't like it. This one and the other one that's small like it, I don't like. I didn't think it was great. So this is the one where you make your way into this temple. And it's got all the armor all over it. It's like a boar. Not boring, but like it's a boar animal. And there's the fire. Little pedestals of fire. And what you have to do is you make it crash into a pedestal and then a torch falls off. And then you can pick up the torch, light the torch on fire, and you find out that this thing's kind of afraid of fire. So then you back it up, back him up, and then he falls off the edge and his armor breaks. I don't know, I didn't love this one. The concept with the fire was the best thing it had going for it. Yeah, the fact that it was afraid of the fire. I didn't love the rest of it though. And then I don't love that the one coming up next soon is very similar. Style Colossi. I almost thought they were the same one. So I don't know. I don't think it's one of my high ones, even though the fire gimmick was at least kind of different and interesting. I just didn't love it, man. I didn't love it. I gotta go, bro, I gotta go C. I think I gotta go C. But like, it's above Barba. Because Barbara's just the beard duck look. It's above Phaedra. It's probably above Valus. Why do I got Quadratus in B? I kind of feel like Quadratus needs to come. Listen, the only reason Quadratus is in B is because he's the second one. So I think he's... No, this doesn't feel right, dude. This doesn't feel right. Celosia comes up and Quadratus comes down. It's just true. Because if I'm even basing this off of my own rules, like I said, in a year from now, I'm probably not going to remember Quadratus that much, but I will remember the fire one. So I'm going to move Celosia up to low B. Quadratus got to come down. This whole list is a grain of salt because... The ones in C are only in C because they're kind of earlier on and more basic. But when you first start the game, they don't feel basic. They feel awesome. So it's only in retrospect that I'm putting them down in C. Okay? That's all. There is no low or high. C is B. Yeah, there is. Like Barbara's low C. Valus is high C. You see how I'm doing that? Okay. What's next? 12. This is one of the weirder ones. Okay. Who do we got here? Pelagia? This is one of the weirder ones. Man, they saturated the hell out of that photo. Look at the color. This one took me a minute to figure out because I thought it was more complicated than it was. I did like this one. I didn't hate it. Yeah, exactly, Pop. Papa nailed it. Papa's based. It's just fun to talk about. It's all subjective. So, even more so than Souls games. I feel like my Souls tier lists and stuff carry way more weight than this. This game is just all kind of fun puzzle bosses, what you liked the most, you know? There's less objectively bad and good ones, you know? Okay. This is the one that's in the big body of water. There's a few platforms out there. Dorman gives you the tip that it's like a moving bridge. And what you essentially have to figure out is you climb up onto him, and then these things on his head that look like teeth, you smack him with the sword, and depending on which one you hit, it like tells him to go that way, and then he walks that way. So then you have to walk him over to one of those higher platforms, jump onto the platform, and then it makes him want to come up onto the platform to get you, and then you can jump on his belly and stab his little tender belly. There's good things about this one, there's bad things about this one. I don't know. Maybe there was a little bit, and again, this game was on PS2, right? It's over 20 years old or something, so it's impressive no matter what. Maybe there was a little bit too much of the, I'm up here, now you have to come up here. Or I'm down here, now you have to come down here. And this was just kind of like another one of those. But I at least like the element of smacking the teeth on his head. Okay? Yeah, the steering wheel teeth was cool, for sure. Ooh, you feel like this one was a woman? Interesting. You got woman vibes from this. Okay. Okay. So let's see where she fits in. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go above Celosia, below Joe Dirte. That's a good spot. I will remember it more than Celosia. I might even remember it more than Joe Dirte there, but I don't know, that's a good spot. Sandwiched right between. We're gonna sandwich her right between, okay? That's where Pelagia goes. I don't think there's gonna be an F. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll see. I mean, we're almost done. So now we got Phalanx. S. A full-on S. I think it's probably the best one in the game. I think this is likely... Hit the deck! This is one of the best ones, if not the best one. I think it's probably the best one. William, I think it's the best one. I think the arena was the coolest one. It was this huge open desert, and then this thing comes out of the ground and starts flying, and then you got to shoot the little air sacs under it, and then it comes down low enough to where you can jump on the wings, but then it comes back up, and it's just like, it's so like visceral. Like, it feels like you're going so fast and so high. I loved this one, dude. And then you're stabbing the things, and it closes them once you do it too much. There was just a lot going on here, dude. And I love the feeling of it then going back underground, and you're like, ah, and you're hanging on, and you gotta jump off. This is S. This is S tier 1. Probably the best in the game for me. It's definitely one of the most memorable experiences I had in the game. This one goes S. It's right up there with Hydrus. We got beneath the water and in the skies. Above the ground, beneath the water. S tiers. Phalanx is the last Colossus we see Adam Sandler fighting in Reign Over Me. Yeah. Actually, we should say that. We should say that. We got the chat on the screen, right? Yeah. Reign Over Me, Adam Sandler movie. Apparently it's real good. And he's playing Shadow of the Colossus a lot. It has like a plot. It's like a plot in the movie that he's playing this game, and that's cool. And that's true. This one was variable, right? Because if you were fast enough, you could get back onto the back without having to shoot the sacks. Back on the back with no sack. That's good. That's a S tier. That's a S tier Colossi right there, okay? Now. Which one's this? What is it called? Cenobia? Didn't like it. Didn't like it. I just didn't, dude. Like, I thought this was the same one. What's it called? I thought this was the same one as, where's he at? As Celosia. Until, I guess looking at it now, it's a bit different, but I didn't like it. In fact, I think it was worse than Celosia. This is another kind of boar-sized one. Like a big lion or something. And this was very environmental, kind of, where you had to climb up those pillars, and then he would knock the pillar, you would jump to the next pillar, and then you kind of had to do this around the whole environment until finally you be on that platform, and then you make him knock the leg of the platform, and the platform falls on him, and the stone rubble breaks his armor. And then at that point, it's like Celosia again. You get on his back, ride him, and stab him. I don't think this is my favorite, dude. I think it's low. I think Celosia, at least that had the fire gimmick. The only thing that this one had going for it was cool to watch the rubble fall on him and break it, but that was about it. I mean, there's better environmental ones than this. I think this one goes low. This might be this is either going to be the lowest C or the only D, you guys. What do you guys think? C or D? It's either the lowest C or the highest D. Because Celosia is so similar. I mean, look at them. They're so similar, but this one, Celosia, at least had the fire gimmick. Low C? I think so. Because looking at Barba, I mean, it's comparable to Barba, where Barbara's not that much cooler than this. I'll go low C. I go low C. I don't think it's so bad that it was a D. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like they should have removed one of these. Like, remove Celosia or Cenobia and do like a tiny Colossus, like I said. Like a cat. You know what I'm saying? That's just my weird take. Didn't love it. We're going to go low C. This is probably the lowest in the game. If I had to pick lowest, I'd probably pick this one. Not going to remember it very much until I do it again. Argus! Argus. We just did this today. In fact, this is the first one we did today. Good old Donkey Kong. He's come a long way. I don't know. This one's okay. Kind of more of the same. I like the environmental destruction. So this is the one where you get there. He's in that kind of Colosseum walkway. There's the big walkways up top. You can't figure out how to climb up, but you know you got to climb up. And so what you end up doing is you stand on that little lower platform. He tries to stomp on you, which kind of breaks the platform and tilts it. And then you can jump up higher. And then on the next one, you got to make him hit again. And then blocks fall. And then you can jump up higher. And then once you're up there, you can jump on his head. I think it's cool that he can break these walkways. That's cool too. Jump on his head. Stab him a bunch. He drops the stone sword. And then at that point, you eventually realize, if you're me, it takes you a while, but you eventually realize now you got to go into his hand and stab his hand. All right? Apparently, there was a couple ways you could have got into his hand. I couldn't figure it out, so I went up to the top rope, and I jumped off and just went for it. And luckily, we literally jumped from right here. Boom, landed right on his hand. Just because I got gaming socks on, I know what I'm doing. So we landed right on the hand, and then we got him. Let's see how he stacks up. Now I got to start doing it like this. He's cooler than Cenobia. He's cooler than Barba. He's cooler than Phaedra. He's cooler than Quadratus. He's cooler than Argus. Definitely not going S with this one. He's cooler than Celosia. Cooler than that. Now I'm starting to tilt. I don't know if he's cooler than Dirge. I guess he is. I'll remember him more than Dirge. Basaran. He's up here somewhere, guys. I'm gonna put him. He's like tied with Gaius. He's tied with Gaius, dude. He's tied. He's up there. I don't think he's gonna beat Avion. I don't know. The A tier is kind of sloppy, dude. You could move it around any way you want. Like, I could put Kuromori back here. In fact, I kind of want to put Kuromori below Avion. He's A. He's middle of the A. He's middle spot A. He's cool. Okay? Now, last but not least, Malus. The final Colossi. That's right. The final Colossi. Huge. The biggest one. The most colossal.
Of all the Colossi, right? The biggest one, by far.
Massive. Towering. Okay. Kind of a platforming level mixed with the Colossi, more so than the other ones, where first you got to dodge all the fireballs, the rain is coming in, you just lost Argo Horse, which is so sad, but nobody sees tears when you're standing in the storm, so that's good. You got to dodge the fireballs he's throwing, weave your way through these these ravines and these labyrinthian, under the ground. What's the word I'm looking for, dude? Not ravine, but like I don't know. It's like a catacombs or something. And you make your way up close to him, and then you climb him. And it's this huge platform. I got a little annoyed on this guy. This is probably the only one that really did get a little annoying. Because I was kind of fighting with the controls a little bit. Because this is like one of the only ones that demands a little bit more from you with the precise jumping. Where you have to like get onto his hand and then make your way to his arm. But then you have to stab the arm. And then he comes to grab you with the other hand. So you have to do that move where you're like on it, but you turn to look and jump that and then jump that way. And it's kind of hard to do that in the heat of the moment. So I kept falling, and then you got to climb up it again. It was like a little annoying. Bunker. Yeah, bunker is probably the word I was looking for. It's another word, though. Like, what is it in war? And you're running down, like, these man-made ravines. What's the word? I just said it earlier today when we were playing. I forgot it now. But I got a little annoyed at this one because I kept having to climb back up. It felt like I was fighting with the controls a little bit, But I did also like that you had to go from arm to hand, and then while you're on that hand, you had to shoot the spot with the arrow, and then he grabs that, and then you're up there, and then at that point, you just stab it. Trenches, thank you, trench, thank you. 7 times I fell. Yeah, 7 times. And then at that point, you just stab it in the head. I don't know, man. Did it live up to the epicness of being the final one? I don't know. I don't think this is S. I don't think it is. Like, if I'm being real, I didn't think it was a bad finish or anything, but if I'm being real, there's no way it's more memorable or cooler than Hydrus or Phalanx. No way. No way. I don't know, man. I think he's kind of lower for me. You guys, am I crazy if I put him in like... Am I crazy if I put him in like B? He's something like this. He's somewhere in here. He's somewhere here. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I just think he's kind of mid. He's definitely not Phalanx level, not Hydrus level. I'm going to remember probably a lot of these A rank more than I'm going to remember him. I think this feels pretty solid for me. Okay? Again. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the lead up to him is even more memorable. You're right. Like, you lose the horse on the way, which is even more memorable than his fight. I think he's not S tier final boss material. No. I mean, but this is like more than any game we've done a tier list on, which at this point we've only done Souls. We've done all the Souls games tier lists. This one I could hit the randomize button and they would go all over the place, and then I could literally find an argument for why it works. These are interchangeable more than any other game. This is probably harder to do a tier list on than any of the Souls games we did. Because they're all kind of cool in different ways. You get to them at different points in the game and the experience. So it's like, just because I've got like Valus low, when I was first playing the game, he was like A, because it was the first one I got to. So I feel like this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. This feels like a good spread. Yeah, I think the game itself is top tier. Definitely one of the more memorable gaming experiences of the year for me. Having completely missed this game until now. Highly recommend it. By the way, I think it's free. Well, not free. It's on the PS Plus thing for free. So if you've got the subscription, you can get it. The remake one. So check it out if you want. All right? Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of locations around the map that I didn't see. I didn't explore too much. I was just kind of going from Colossus to Colossus. Colossi to Colossi. So that's it. Love the game, though. In fact, I liked it more than I expected. I thought it would feel a little bit more dated, but it didn't. You know, I was used to the kind of datedness of it. It didn't feel weird to me. It felt great. I'm never going to forget Phalanx. I'm never going to forget Hydrus. Even Avion is in the right spot because, man, the first time he swooped down, woo! That was nuts, bro. I'm glad Torinto liked it so much. I'm glad you guys brought me to this game. And now, next, we're going to do Liza P. We're doing Liza P tomorrow. I know that's not for everybody. I think it's going to be for me. But we're going to find out together. Okay? And if we like it enough, we'll do a tier list for that game. No, thank you. Thank you for the recommendation. Solid recommendation. You guys are the best. That's why I love recommendations. It was so cool to hang out with you guys again. Papa, as always. At some point, don't forget to play... Yeah, Pray for the Gods. That's that one you said is kind of like a love letter to this game or something. And The Last Guardian. How come you don't include Ico in that list, or Eco? Not knowing anything about it. Because I will say, after playing this, I am a little curious about The Last Guardian, and I am a little curious about Ico or Eco. So you'll have to let me know. And hopefully, in the future, if we end up playing The Last Guardian, or whatever, we get Tim back. Because it's been fun hanging out with Tim, right, guys? Yeah. Until next time, I'm going to see you here, around same time. Liza P tomorrow, guys. Love you guys. Good night. Sure.